What's up, y'all? I'm gonna break down this UFC Atlanta card for y'all. I got some good news. I got some bad news. The good news is there are no women's bantamweight fights on this whole card. But the bad news is one of the greatest welterweights of all time, Kamar Usman, has to hand over the torch to Joaquin Buckley. All right, so for the first fight of the night, according to Tapology, we got uh, Vanessa Metropolis versus Jamie Lynn Horth at 125. I believe Vanessa Demopolous is coming up from 115 because she's be a tiny flyweight. Anyway, Vanessa Metropolis is 5-4 in the UFC. She's 36 years old. She's on a two-fight skid. She lost against Talia Alcantara and she lost against Jacqueline Amaram. Her other losses are JJ Aldrich, which was also a step up in 125, and Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Her wins are like Jingu Frey and Emily Ducote. Her most notable wins, which aren't good wins at all. If you notice with Vanessa Metropolis, she anybody that kind of has a pulse, she beats. Honestly, like or she loses to. Anybody that isn't very good, she beats because she is kind of gamey. She has decent jiu-jitsu, but she's very scrappy and she throws hard. Jamie Lynn Horth, 35. This is low-key an auntie fight. 35 and 36 years old. These are two aunties. 2-2 in the UFC. She has losses against Miranda Maverick and Veronica Hardy, both girls who beat the hell out of Vanessa Demopolous. Granted, they're in higher weight class than her, but they both smoke her. And her wins are Ivana Petrovic and Haley Cowan. Jamie Lynn Horth is like minus 400 something, which she should be. She's probably going to smoke Vanessa. Vanessa's small. She's probably going to be on her back throwing up subs, and they're not going to be hitting. Jamie Lynn Horth is just going to be pushing her against the cage, has her on the ground. Yeah. Vanessa Demopoulos, I don't know what her reasoning and moving up is, but I don't think this is a good idea, and I think she's about to lose to this Canadian Jamie Lynn Horth. Second fight, according to Topology, Phil Rowe versus Ange Loosa at men's 170. Rowe is 34 years old, 3-3 UFC record. His losses are Jake Matthews, Neil Magny, and Gabe Green. Boy, you lost to Gabe Green as well. His wins, Jason Witt, Orion Kosi, and Nico Price. He has no wins that really prove he belongs. I mean, Nico Price that's a decent win. If you beat him, you belong. But Orion Kosi and Jason Witt, that doesn't really say anything. Ange Loosa is 2-1 with one no contest against Brian Battle in a fight where he was going to lose. His wins are against AJ Fletcher and Reese Mcghee, both two guys who don't really belong. AJ Fletcher has been long gone, and Reese McKee will probably get cut again for the second time, unless he has a good resurgence. Anyway, his losses are to Munir Lizez, Gabriel Bonfim, and he also lost to Jack Della on one contender series in a really good contender series fight. That was fun. It was fun to watch. Ange is minus 140. Phil Rowe is plus 120. I don't know, man. Phil Rowe is good. He has good boxing. He has good jiu-jitsu. He's like 6'4" or 6'3", 6'4" as a welterweight, but I just don't think he doesn't put it together. Like he's a very good athlete. That dude is so good. Phil Rowe is amazing. Phil Rowe is almost like a poor man's Randy Brown, he's good nonetheless. He's good. I think he'll beat a lot of these lower level welterweights. I don't think he'll ever be top 15. You know, he's 34 years old. He has a really good skill set, but if he was like, I don't know, 7 or 6 years younger, he'd be a prospect. But I don't know. Ange Loosa doesn't get finished. She's just this stubborn Swiss black dude who just doesn't go anywhere. He just doesn't. I mean, he has crisp striking. He doesn't get finished. Like you're not finishing him, so he can really just beat Phil Rowe just off of just not dying. Basically, Phil Rowe just gets tired, and Ange Loosa just in his face. And Ange Loosa is like 5'10", but he's gonna cover the reach just like Gabe Green did. He's gonna find a way to, and Phil Rowe's not gonna knock him out. So I don't know. I'm probably going Ange Loosa just for being tougher, honestly. So for this next fight, we got Ricky Simon versus um, Cameron Smotherman. Simon is 21-6 in UFC, 9-5, or 21-6 overall, 9-5 UFC. Recently, he dusted Javid Bastarat. Prior to that, he was on a 3-fight skid to Lope Dog, Vinicius Oliveira, Mario Bautista, and Song Yadong. Before that, he's got good wins over Jack Shore, Rafael Sunsal, Montel Jackson. He beat Marab. But then, he's got losses to like Rob Font and Uriah Faber, back in the day. Smotherman 1-1 UFC. Has a win over Jay Cadley, and he just lost to Sergey City. Simon's gonna run through this dude. Honestly, he's probably gonna go to decision, honestly, but I think he's just gonna outclass Cameron Smotherman. This is a high step up in competition for Smotherman, in which he doesn't deserve it. Coming off of a loss, he's getting Ricky Simon. Of course, it's a good fight for him. You get to jump the rankings, but he's not about to beat Ricky Simon. I don't know what the odds are, but I know Ricky Simon. He can show inconsistency at times, but that inconsistency is within the upper echelon fighters. Like, he's not losing to Cam Smotherman. It's like he's beating guys like this. He's like I just told you. Vinicius Oliveira, Javid Basra, Mario Bautista, Song Yadong, they're all much higher level than Cam Smotherman. Well, who knows? Javid Basra may not be that higher level, but anyway, I'm going Ricky Simon. For this next fight, we got Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. Durden is 17-7-1 overall, 6-5-1 UFC. Jose Ochoa is 7-1, and he's 0-1 in the UFC. Durden recently he got cooked by Joshua Van. He beat Matt Schnell. He lost to Bruno Silva and Tagir Ulanbekov, who's on a 2-fight skid. And he's got wins over Jake Hadley and Charles Johnson. Jose Ochoa, he lost to that stud, Loner Kavanaugh. And a pretty good back and forth. Kavanaugh outclassed him. He just showed why he is as great as he is and why he has the hype he has. But Jose Ochoa, he had a good showing for himself. He didn't just get like smoked. But I think this guy's pretty good, honestly. He's got a bright future. He's 24 years old. Durden is 34, so he's 10 years older. I don't know, man. I guess if he can just avoid the wrestling and keep it on the feet, he beats Cody Durden, honestly. I can see Cody Durden just taking him to school also. The guy is 10 years older than him. He beat Charles Johnson. Granted, that was before Charles Johnson started firing guys up, kind of like he does now, but Durden's been in there with a lot better guys. Ochoa is -170. Durden's +147. I don't know. I guess it kind of is Ochoa's time to shine. This is a good opportunity for him to win this fight, honestly. He's a young dog. Durden's kind of an OG in the weight class, I guess, at this point. 34 years old. I go with Ochoa, but it's a momentum pick. I go with Ochoa based off of momentum. He's 24 years old, making himself the division. A win over Ochoa doesn't really do much for Durden, but a loss, it just creates space for this newer. It creates room for this newer young bull to rise up the ranking. So yeah, I gotta go with Ochoa. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. Malcolm Wellmaker by aggravated assault. And Chris Moutinho is literally he's a sacrificial lamb. They just needed him. They just needed a body to be sacrificed for Malcolm Wellmaker in front of his home crowd because he's from Georgia. So for this next fight, we got Michael Chiesa versus Court Mcghee at 170. Michael Chiesa is 18-7. Court Mcghee is 22-13. It's a crazy record, 22-13. But you're an OG in the sport. That's what happens. Mcghee is 40. This is an uncle fight. Mcghee is 40. Chiesa is 37. Mcgee's UFC record is 11-12. Lately, he has a win over Tim Means. He was on a 3-fight skid against Alex Morano, Matt Brown, Jeremiah Wells. Fun fact, Matt Brown right hooked him. Jeremiah Wells left hooked him. I thought that was funny. Anyway, Chiesa is 13-7 in the UFC. It's crazy. Chiesa, he literally grew up in this company. He was a kid, and he's 13-7, 18-7. All of his losses happened in the UFC. He's only had 5 fights outside of the organization, which is really cool. Anyway, he's on a 2-fight winning streak against Max Griffin and Tony Ferguson. Prior to that, he was on a 3-fight skid. Kevin Holland, Sean Brady, and Vicente Luque. All guys who they commit aggravated assault on Court Mcghee. Like the worst of those guys, which Vicente Luque would kill Court Mcghee. Yeah, I mean, I know they're both somewhat old, but for some reason, Chiesa doesn't really seem that old. And I guess that's because of his style. Like, he doesn't. I mean, Chiesa's gotten fucked up. He's gotten fucked up before, but like, it's just he just doesn't seem that old. Like, he doesn't. It seems like Court Mcghee is way older than him, but he's only 3 years older, which is a shock to me. That's very, very shocking to me. It seems like Court Mcghee is like much older than Chiesa, but yeah, I take Chiesa. I really like his style. I think that's the reason why he is able to last so long. His grappling has been really good, and he doesn't really depend on his striking too much. Grapplers, I feel like they can last a lot longer, just because they're not necessarily going through as many wars, because they're predominantly on the ground. You're much safer on the ground. You spend the majority of your career on the ground, you're not taking as much damage. So, Chiesa all day. I think Chiesa probably smokes Mcghee, and then Mcghee, honestly, it's crazy that he's even still around. I feel like they're kind of trying to get rid of him, honestly. Because who else does? I mean, Tim Means, he's an old head. Outside of Tim Means, who else does he beat? Like, they're not. I mean, damn, that's a shame for Tim Means. That's a crossroad moment for him. He's probably retired now. If you lose to Court Mcghee, you gotta retire, bro. Straight up. All right, so this next fight we got Paul Craig, 17-9-1 versus Rodolfo Bellato, 12-2-1. Craig's 37 years old. He's on a 3-fight skid. He lost to Bo Nickel, Kyle Barajo, and Brendan Allen. Prior to that, he had a win over Andre Muniz. Bellato, 29. Bellato, his name is almost Bellator, and his skills aren't too far off from that, honestly. Like, bro was 1-0-1 UFC. Went to a draw with Jimmy Crute. Bro went life or death. Life or death with Igor Materio. Like, bro, he snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat. Like, it was that close. Like, Igor Materio was beating this dude like he stole something. It was crazy. And yeah, man. I mean, he's 12-2-1. Bro has 2 losses to Vitor Petrino. And bro, if they fight again in the trilogy, Vitor Petrino is probably gonna knock him out again. He's been knocked out twice by Vitor Petrino. Like, bro, this man probably has nightmares. Vitor Petrino. Like, this man's probably in class, looks out the window, sees Vitor Petrino, turns back around, looks out there, and he's gone type shit. Like, this man, Vitor Petrino owns this dude, bro. He is his nephew. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure he beats Paul Craig. Like, hopefully he doesn't just. Who knows? Maybe he drops Paul Craig, falls into his guard, and gets triangled. Like, it could happen. You never know. But Rodolfo should beat him. He should just knock Paul Craig out, because this is at 205. Paul Craig is already kind of feeble, like even at middleweight. So, yeah, Rodolfo Bellato, he's just some big Roblox head Brazilian dude. He should really just knock Paul Craig out, honestly. But yeah, we'll see. I think he's like minus 300 something, minus 400 something. He's a heavy favorite, which he kind of should be. But yeah, I think Rodolfo Bellato knocks him out, and then he fights Vitor Petrino in the trilogy, and then gets knocked out by him again, which results in a loss by Vitor Petrino on all 3 levels. He lost to Petrino on the regionals, he lost to Petrino on the Dana Contender Series, and he loses to Petrino again in the trilogy in the UFC. Next, we got Alonzo Menifield, 16-5-1 versus Umar C or Sai at light heavyweight. This is a Mandingo fight. Like, this is There's a lot of testosterone between these two dudes. This is crazy right here. Menifield's 37 years old, 9-5-1 in the UFC. Recently, he just went life or death with this dude Julius Walker, who's like I don't know, like 6-0, like something like that. Dude had no fights, and Julius Walker almost beat. Arguably, he beat Alonzo Menifield. Before that, he was on a 2-fight skid against Mirzakhanov and Ulberg. Ulberg starched him. Like, I don't know why he just ran at Ulberg like a orangutan, and he just got dusted, like face down, face plant KO'd. Before that, he beat Dustin Jacoby, which was a weird fight. Like Dustin Jacoby just kept getting dropped in that fight, but he was piecing Alonzo Menifield up. Umar Sy, I forget how old he is. Okay, Sy's only 29 years old. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He beat Dawoon Jung, which is a really good performance, and that's a good win. Dawoon Jung he's good. That's a good Korean fighter right there. He big dude. I remember before that I was like, yeah, who knows? Like we'll see how good this Umar Sy guy is. Like let's see how good he is in this fight against Dawoon Jung. You know, Dawoon had 20 something fights at the time. Umar only had 10, and Umar did what he wanted to. He did what he smoked Dawoon Jung like in a good decision. Um, he beat him like he didn't belong in there. That's how Umar Sy reminds me of Cyril Gane. Like I guess it's just a French thing. They fight very conceited. William Gomis is the same way. Those black French fighters, they fight very conceited. They fight very entitled. Like you don't belong in here with me. You don't. You hit them, they hit you 3, 4, 5 times back. Like fuck you. How dare you hit me in this hand to hand combat fight? Like that's just how they are. Cyril Gane, same way. He's not tick for tack. He's tick for tack, 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 tack. Like you really don't belong. And that's how Umar Sy is. And I see him doing the same thing with Alonzo Menifield. I think he just touched him up. He's a 5-1 favorite, 6-1 favorite, 7-1 favorite probably at this point for a reason. Alonzo Menifield's 37 years old. He's a powerhouse, but Umar Sy he's a good martial artist and he's a powerhouse. He's bigger than Menifield. He's the future of the division. Like him, Umar Sy and Carlos Ulberg and who else? There's just there's light heavyweights that are really stepping up. I can't think of the other one for some reason. Who is the other light heavyweight? Oh, the Chinese guy, Ming Yang Zhang. Like Umar Sy, Ming Yang Zhang. This is the next level. These are the young guns of the light heavyweight division. They're out there. And then Asmat Mirzakhanov, guys like that, even though he's a little older, but these guys are who we're going to see in the next top contender fights at 205. So Alonzo Menifield, he's going to get swept up, and I got Umar Sy. Okay, so for this next fight, we got Cody Brundage, 11-6, versus Mansour Abdul-Malik, 8-0 at middleweight. Man, they've been trying to get rid of Cody Brundage. They've been trying to get rid of him since he's pulled that stunt against Jacob Malkoun. They did not want him in here after that, but then he proved himself right, and then he proved the company wrong, and then beat Zach Reese, and then he lost to Bo Nickel, and then they're like, all right, we'll give you Abdul Razak. You definitely can't beat this guy. Oh, another no contest. Like they've been trying to get him out of here, and then they give him Julian Marquez. All right, bro, they're trying to give Julian Marquez a win. He beats Julian Marquez. So now they're like, fuck you. We're gonna give you this beast in Mansour Abdul-Malik. Mansour Abdul is a monster. This dude he's a powerhouse. Like I would never want to fight this dude ever. I would never want to fight this dude, even if I was the same size as him. Fuck that. This dude's huge. He can wrestle. He hits hard as hell. Fuck that. Brundage, 31 years old, 5-1. Mansour's 27. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He beat Dusko and he beat Nick Klein. Nick Klein gave him an elbow from Hades. Like he hit him with a spinning back elbow and wobbled him. Mansour Abdul-Malik, he weathered the storm and he ended up finishing him later on. I'm pretty sure he ended up finishing him. Let me see. Yes, he did end up TKOing him 3 minutes into the second round. So yeah, I like to see that. He's young in his career, 8-0. he went through some adversity and he did his thing. I don't think Cody Brundage is going to powerbomb Mansour Abdul-Malik like he did Zach Reese. I don't think he's going to be able to weasel his way out of this. He was on a 3-fight skid against Cedricus Dumas, Rodolfo Vieira, Mikhailo Olajezuk. I like Mansour Abdul-Malik's chances against all those guys. I think he probably beats 2 out of 3 of those guys, if not all 3. He probably even beats Bo Nickel, honestly, at this point. But yeah, I think they just get Cody Brundage. He's supposed to be gone. You have an 11-6 UFC record. There's the company has no place for that. So I think Mansour Abdul-Malik beats him, and I think a really good fight I like to see is him against that guy Atiba Gautier, that strong Francis Ngannou middleweight. So yeah, Mansour Abdul-Malik. He was a -4-1 favorite last time I seen. He's probably -5-1 now, but yeah, he smoked Cody Brundage. All right, man. This next fight at 185, we got Edmund Shabazyan against Andre Petroski. Edmund is 27 years old, 7-5 UFC record. Just recently beat Dylan Bucka. He lost to Gerald Mearshart in a fight he was supposed to win. He beat AJ Dobson, and then he got smoked by Anthony Hernandez. Petroski's 33, 8-2 UFC record, but it sounds good, but it's very underwhelming. Yeah, he beat Rodolfo Vieira, good win. He beat Dylan Bucka, who cares? Josh Fremd, who cares? Jared Mearshart by split, which is his best win. Okay. Lost to Jacob Malkoun, which is one of his losses. Lost to Michel Pierre, which is one of his 2 losses. That's good. I think both of those guys both smoke Edmund Shabazyan. He beat Wellington Thurman, and then he beat Michael fucking Gilmore. 2 guys who nobody gives a fuck about them. I don't think Andre Petroski. It's weird. He has the tools to beat Edmund Shabazyan, but I don't think he does it. I don't think he does it, honestly. Andre Petroski, I feel like he don't have enough heart to beat some of these. Like, I feel like Shabazyan might be too good of a name for him. Like he's too good to lose to Andre Petroski, but he's not that good. If that makes any sense. Like Edmund Shabazyan is not. I don't think he's not a top 10 middleweight, but he's too good to beat Andre Petroski or to lose Andre Petroski. Like, you can put him in that Malkoun, Michel Pereira level. Like, I think he's a little less than both of those guys, but I think he beats all the guys that Petroski beat, except for maybe Rodolfo Vieira. That'd be a tough fight for him. And oh yeah, and Gerald Mearshart. But I don't know. He's Edmonds -190. I don't think he should be -190. I think this fight should be like it should be dead even. It should be dead even, or Shabazyan should be like maybe minus like 130, but almost 2-1. I don't get it. I don't understand that. I think the odds are gonna go down in that fight, guaranteed. I wouldn't. I don't know if I was like betting. I wouldn't bet on Edmund Shabazyan. Wouldn't bet on him, but I also don't. You don't want to bet on Andre Petroski either. You really don't. I wouldn't. I don't know about betting an under because Andre Petroski gets TKO'd by shooting a takedown and running his face into somebody's hip or something. And just I don't know. Like, and then Shabazyan could just get ninja choked or something. Like who knows? But for the sake of a pick, I'll go Shabazyan. So this next fight at women's 125, we got Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Rose 13-7, Miranda's 15-5. Miranda, she's 27 years old, 8-3 UFC record. She's on a 4-fight win streak against Jamie Lynn Horth, Diani Barbosa, Andrea Lee, and Priscilla Catchabeating. Before that, she's on a 3-fight skid. Jasmine Jasudavicius, Aaron Blanchfield, and she lost to Macy Barber, which is a fight I don't think she lost. She got robbed in that fight. It was a blatant robbery. If you want to go watch it, go ahead. But I don't know. Maybe I'd give Macy Barber 1 round in that fight, but she beat Macy Barber in that fight, in my opinion. Rose is 32, 11-6 UFC record. UFC record. Recently she lost to Aaron Blanchfield. Before that, she beat Tracy Cortez. Before that, she beat Amanda Ribas, and then she lost to Fioro, and then before that, she lost to Esparza. Everything before Esparza is her flyweight career, or not flyweight. That's her strawweight career. So I'm not really talking about that too much, even though that was amazing. 2 wins over Wang Zhili. She beat Jessica Andrade, even though Jessica Andrade did power bomber. Um, the Atlanta fights, like Rose Namajunas, she's a legend. She is a legend, one of the best women fighters of all time. I think she'll be too much for Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick isn't really a good wrestler. She's a strong she's a strong grappler. She's very strong, but her strength is the best part of her grappling. It's not her finesse. It's not her double leg. It's not her throws. I mean, granted, she can do all that stuff, but not. It's not like the technique is just so good where it's like, oh wow, she's known for it. She's known for her strength. She's a very strong girl. She's one of the strongest. I think she's one of the physically the more physically stronger girls in that division. She may even be stronger than Rose, but she cannot strike with Rose. Rose is going to piece her up. She's gonna look like a walking punching bag. Miranda Maverick, she's just not a striker. Like she's a strong girl, but she can't even really hit hard either, which is weird. She's just meant for grabbing. Miranda Maverick is literally just meant for grabbing things. But Rose is minus 260 last time I checked. Miranda's plus 215. I gotta go Rose all day. Rose is gonna be too much for her. Rose is there. I mean, there is a world where Miranda Maverick can clinch against the cage and and just get control time, and maybe she takes Rose down. But I think Rose gets back up and gets back to business and touches her up. Anytime they're out in space, Miranda Maverick will be in trouble. For this next fight, we got Cody Garbrandt 14-6 versus Ronnie Barcelos at 135. Garbrandt's 33 years old, 9-6 in the UFC. Recently, he lost to, not recently, a year ago, he lost to Davison Figueiredo. Before that, he beat Brian Keller. Then he beat Trevin Jones. Then did his little flyweight run at Kai Car France. Then he lost to Rob Font. Barcelos, 38 years old, 8-4 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight win streak over Peyton Talbot and Christian Quinones. Before that, he was on a 2-fight skid over Kyler Phillips and Umar Nurmagomedov. Ronnie Barcelos has had a good career, honestly. He's had a good sneaky career. He's just an old sneaky vet who you definitely can't take lightly. He seems to always prove people wrong. Well, not always, but he's just somebody you can't take lightly. Even as a young fighter, which we just learned with Peyton Talbot. And stylistically, I think this is an interesting fight. Ronnie Barcelos is minus 170 last time I checked. Here's the thing. I think Cody Garbrandt wins on the feet. I think he's the better striker. And we've never really seen anybody just dog Cody Garbrandt on the ground. Like, I mean, as far as wrestling, jiu-jitsu, yeah, his jiu-jitsu isn't the best, which is why Davison Figueiredo was able to choke him out. But I don't think Ronnie Barcelos can just run in there and just shoot doubles on Cody Garbrandt. I think this is going to be a fight on the feet, and I think Cody Garbrandt will be able to outstrike him on the feet. I think Cody can win a decision, honestly. I think his hands are good enough to beat Ronnie Barcelos. I think this fight is going to predominantly take place on the feet, and yeah, I see Cody beating him as an underdog. For the main event, we got Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Man, all respect to Kamaru Usman for everything he's done in the sport. Dude's a beast. But unfortunately, he's going to pass the torch over to Joaquin Buckley. There's just a resurgence happening in the lightweight division and the welterweight division. The house is being cleaned out. The OGs are getting replaced by the younger guys. Like in lightweight division, you got Paddy Pimblett, you got Armin Sarukian, you got Yoel Alvarez, Benoit Saint-Denis. Even I guess Matthews Gamrot can be in there too. They're cleaning out Michael Alvarez and Dustin Poirier and a lot of these older guys. God, I can't even name really most of them at the top of my head because they're all cooked at this point. Benil Dariush, these guys are they're kind of getting knocked out of the picture by the younger guys. Same thing's happening here. You know, Kamar Usman, Bilal Muhammad, Covington, Masvidal, all these guys, they're no more. Gilbert Burns, they're no more. You got Joaquin Buckley, you got Michael Morales, you got Ian Gary, Shavkat. Like these guys are they're here to take over. Usman's good. He's gonna put up a good fight. I don't see him getting just knocked the fuck out, but he's gonna be so behind Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's gonna be so much quicker to the punch than Usman. Usman's not really. Man, he's just gonna be outgunned here. He's not gonna. Usman's never been the one to really just run in there and start double legging people. He's not gonna be able to control Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is just he got too much horsepower. He's gonna be hitting hard as hell. I don't see him putting Buckley. I don't see him putting Usman to sleep. But I definitely see him just getting touched up. I see him getting hit way more than he's hitting. He's hitting Buckley, and I think it'll be a good fight. Every fight Usman's in is good, even at 38 years old. Usman's gonna put on a fight. He's gonna put on a good show, just like we've seen against Hamza. Like, everybody thinks he's outmatched, but he actually puts on a good fight and almost wins. He wins the third round even. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I think it's gonna be a passing the torch moment. You know, Bucks minus 275 and Usman's plus 225. And Usman or Buckley, he's doing amazing right now. Like he's one fighter who's impressed me so much. Like from fighting middleweight, from getting one punched by Kevin Holland to now going on a 6-fight win streak. Like I knew he was the real deal when he beat that Nursultan Rusbov guy. Not that Rusbov is like a future title holder or anything, but you beat this 6'4" Uzbeki, who's a terrible matchup for a lot of people, but he's just throwing overhands and rocking this guy and even out wrestling him at some points. It's just, man, Buckley's the real deal, and he's a dark horse in this division. And anybody with the belt or number one contenders, they need to watch out for him. So yeah, I got Buckley by just a 5-round domination.